Hey everyone, welcome back. I can't believe it's September, and with that, I am showing you my September planner notebook stack, and there's some things changing for this month. So let's check it out. These are the planners and notebooks that I am going to be using for the month of September. Some things are changing, so I wanted to share my updated lineup. So we'll start off with my writing ones to begin with. So I have 2.5 planner notebooks that I'll be using for my writing. So first things is the Aura Estelle. And this one is Fiery Flamingo. It originally was a ring bound planner and I removed them. This is the hot glue so I don't kind of poke myself because it still has the backing. I didn't want to rip it here. Another way is people have done down here to remove the mechanism, but I like the reinforcement that it provides, makes it less floppy. And this one I just put like a little sticky glue dot on it. So I have a video on like how I de-ringed this, or I explained it. Didn't actually show with the pliers because that just took a while, but I still need to create a board that will go in here because right now this is a B6 that I'm kind of using, but I need a little bit bigger. None of this really has changed. I still have my cute little summer girl. I need to update it, get it ready for fall, but for the time being, it's not really a concern. So with this, I got a clear book here. And how I have it set up is, this is from June, July, August, but this was kind of my plan of when I'm releasing between my two different pen names. Things kind of have shifted a little bit, but then I have some pre-planning pages. So that is kind of like the first part, and then I got more of like what my different schedule is. And I haven't quite used these pages up to their fullest. Like, see, I kind of stopped. But I want to get better, and it will just kind of take being persistent with it. Then moving on to more the plotting pages is for my current series that I'm working on. I have some information like at the different books, character sheet, and some word trackers. Word count trackers. Then I move into my side tabs. I have character, setting, plot, and reference. So for character, it would be my character sheets. I was using a B6 and then I realized it's a little too small and I want to upscale, so I just put them here. So that was from book 3. Some grid work on it, and then I am working on book 5. I have not done book 4, so I'm kind of going out of order a little bit, but I was more excited about this story. So I printed out those character sheets. I have my female done, besides her character arc, and then I need to work on my male character setting. There's nothing in it, but any setting would be in here. And then to the block. So to the plot, I got book 3 and book 5. So this was brainstorming different things from book 3. Different notes. I tried to do a plot grid and then I realized This is great. However, there's not a lot of space doing it on paper. So I put it into Scrivener. That was just doing some more different beats, what kind of needs to happen. And then we move on to book 5, which is what I am plotting out now. And then blank sheets, and then references is my kind of story, how I want all the different beats and stuff like that. So just kind of figuring that out. That took me a long time, but I think I got it. Doing the external plus the romance. So, and then there's just random like sheets I've gotten from other things. And then I have this section called the morgue, which I got from another YouTuber, and I really like the name of it. But basically it's a bunch of like other information that doesn't really belong anywhere, and so just sits in the morgue, so it's just kind of a resting place, if you will. I just thought that was kind of perfect. And then I got some other like information on scenes and stuff like that. So that is that, the main plotting book. And then this is a Kokio's idea booklet. This was originally the A5 Slim, and A5 doesn't quite fit on my jump bands, or whatever these are called, the TN bands, and so I cut it down to make it a B6, and I started just using it as notes for what I'm just kind of thinking. Like this is like on the scene, just random stuff. And I have a little bit more, so that's great. So I'm making progress. So I will continue to fill that out, and then that will be done. So that is the main plotting for new words, new story, brainstorming, all of that. Then that takes me to, this is an A5, it is grid, which I really like. It is a twin spiral. Not the biggest fan of it, but that's okay. It was available on Amazon, so it's cheap. And this I was using for my Icarus Bluff series. So this whole first section is different things for that series. And since those are all novellas, so they're short, and my my other one that I'm working on is novellas as well, but they're a little longer. I was thinking of just using this book as well. So this was all for that first series. It is 5 novellas, and then almost about halfway I figured I could start using it for my revisions. So I'm working on my first of my bear shifter for my Lottie Lumley pen name, and I was doing it chapter by chapter, and then I realized, you know what, I'm gonna run out of paper. And then I was like, okay, let me pause. So this was just the first, chapter 6. So the first 6 chapters was this much. So I was like, uh-oh, I'm gonna run out. And then, so I created some space here, and then I was gonna start using this for new words. So this was like the first chapter, so setting that up. And I think I want to use this more for the revision and not for new words. So this could be my revision notebook. So when I'm like reading, I can make notes for different changes if I want. So I'm going to still hold on to this because I have all those stories to revise. So that is kind of my revision notebook for my current work in progress. Now we are going to move into my new system. I was inspired by a video I saw, and it is using 3 different notebooks for a whole planner system. And what it includes is a small pocket focus notebook or a capture, brainstorm, whatever it may be. Then a weekly planner, so doing your daily task for execution. And then your main planner, which is all for strategy. So how I have this is I will do all of my strategy on paper because I just think clear. And so my tabs I have is calendar, strategy, and then reference. So this is strategy for my writing and then reference for my personal home items. So I just took some side tabs that were like the washi tabs and I just kind of wrote over them with Sharpie because I didn't really want to deal with making stickers. So I have inbox, annual, month, goals, project schedule, marketing, chores, health, family, lists, and ideas. So under then I have calendar, strategy, and reference. So the first section is your typical GTD, getting things done, inbox, next actions, waiting on. This, I think, isn't really necessary, so I'm thinking about removing it, but we will wait until the end of September to see if I actually use it or not. Then for the calendar is I have my yearly plan, and then I have for the annual section. Then for the month section is I have all of the upcoming months, so like November, December, and then it gets into this kind of stack here, which is my new quarter. So I do quarters based on the season because that is how I like to operate. So I have my sheets for September, October, and November. So how I have this set up is I have my cover page, a note page, a seasonal living bucket list, fun things to do in that month, and then my master task list, which is personal and work, a matrix, so the Eisenhower, but slightly different. And then on the back side I have is the monthly action items, the weekly action items, and the daily action items. So all of this flows up, and I haven't quite decided if I want to keep this strictly personal. Right now I am mixing it and I don't know if it quite works. So that is what I'm going to be trying to figure out for this next 3 months to get ready for the new year of 2026. Then I have my calendar, and then we move on to the next month. So that is in the monthly section. Then starting in my new strategy tab is, yes, this says from 2022. This is the HB 90 planner. I printed out the sheets, all the pre-planning sheets to figure out what your projects are based on your goals. And then you got to create your tasks. So that's what this first is under the goals, is all those goal sheets. And then I have some fancy plans goal sheets as well. Then under the project tabs is the actual projects using the project planner. So this is all about the task. And all of these tasks will then be migrated to Marvin, which is going to be part of my execution. So I'm doing a hybrid for my execution system. but just to show what I have going on. I think this is going to be a little too much. I don't think I'll be able to finish everything, which is a bummer, because then that puts my schedule out of whack. But that's what happens when you try to put way too much on your plate. And the next section is the schedule, which right now is, I just have like a weekly plan. This is my time blocks. I have been doing this weekly sheet with my color time blocks, and I like it. However, I don't really refer to this. Every single day, Monday through Friday, is roughly the same. Weekends kind of are free for all, so those I don't really get work done. So I don't really need to have this as a weekly planner. I need to more have what are my main things I need to accomplish for each day of the week. So I'm switching this a little bit around, but I am using this kind of mashup of HB90 old way with her new way. So she used to have like a growth tracker and work in progress. So I took those and then added the task blocks. And these are all the things that I need to accomplish. So the chores will take about 6 task blocks, workout 3, revisions 6, and then packing as well. So with that is, these are going to be, did I do, 6 task blocks, and then I could check off over them. I'm not going to be referring to this. This is all about my weekly review. So kind of a little bit different of the way I have done it in the past. So I have continuation of those, and then it gets into the marketing section. So I was taking notes on the K-Lytics Paranormal Romance. I got some promo pages, my old book funnel that I had, some other sheets. So this is a hot mess, this promo section. So I need to figure it out, but I just figured I'd put in the sheets. Then we move into the reference, which I have a monthly, weekly, and daily kind of planning, all the process of it. So I'm still trying to figure this out. This will probably change depending on if this new system works or not. Then I have chores. So I have the zone cleaning breakdown of what needs to be. And then some more just kind of rotation sheets. Then for health, I got some health kind of journal notes. When I was doing that kind of 40-day challenge. Then expenses are, I guess, under health. I don't really use them. These are just like recurring things. So I might get rid of all this or not. It kind of all depends. And then family. So I have kind of my packing list as well as air fryer list. Nothing under a list. And then under ideas, I am working on kind of everything I need to have, like my reference, what I'm doing recipe, or this will go to the journal. Where is my workflow, my planning process? This is all mapping it out to get ready for 2026. Right, so I have my strategic, the home planner, executions, the daily B6. That might change in Marvin. So, and then this is all just old planner information. So that is a lot. This is my main. It stays at home because it is big. It doesn't travel well. So because it doesn't travel well, that is when we come with our execution planner. This execution planner will go along with Marvin. So this was a B6. I think it was maybe a 5x7. And I really wanted to use this print impression weeks cover because I'm trying to figure out what size I want to have my weekly planner be. So I decided to cut this to try to make it fit in here, which it kind of does. It's a little, right, it's shorter, but that's no big deal. This was a notebook that, right, I used other things. And so this is what I'll be doing for the upcoming month, is figuring out what style of weekly planning do I want. So, for example, this layout here is the Japanese Franklin Covey, and it has kind of, right, does the body, the social, the mental, spiritual, and then what type of, so it's like sharpening the saw, these are your roles. Then it has your weekly task list, and then for each day you have your quadrant 2, which are on the Eisenhower, which is the one that's over here. So this is like must-dos. I'll try to remember to put up the Eisenhower matrix. So those are those. So those are going to be activities that move you forward on your goals. And then daily tasks. So this would be like chores, more house related. This would be author writing related. And then it has your hourly schedule and then a notes side. And so I'm trying out that layout, and this, I switched it a little bit, so we're doing 2 verticals instead of like the horizontal and then down here. So trying out that layout. Then I'm trying it out the Alistair with like the traditional Hobonichi, where you have them horizontal but going vertical. So trying out that layout. And then this is like the Aura Stell layout here, and then going the dual, so like the ladder daily for you, right, what you want to accomplish and what you do accomplish based on the time. So, and then this is from the Kokyo Studying Campus, which you have your different topics and your top 3 things for those topics, and then tracking your time this way. So another layout as well. So that is kind of the plan for the next month, is trying out all these different layouts, figuring out what I want to help me figure out, do I need this as a planner? Do I need a weekly planner? I've been using weekly planners like my whole life since starting school. And so it is trying to figure that out. And then I was like, right, so I still had a lot of pages. And then I was like, I'm going to try to use this as my writing notebook, where I could carry this on the go, because I can't bring my plotting planner with me. It's too big. And so this is working out a scene information and then the chapter rundown. So I was trying out this layout, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going on a trip, and so I figured I could just take this small, compact, and be able to get some new words on my story. So that is what this is. And in case you're wondering, this is a forum by Exampa. It is nice textured paper, very smooth, silky. You could write with fountain pen, an S-Note, Tombow, Varsity, which was the fountain pen, Inkjoy Scribble. Very little ghosting, no bleed through. So that is the option. You can buy it on JetPens. Okay. We're coming close to the end, and that is this pocket size notebook as my capture, my brainstorm notebook. So I started in August 2025 just to see how many pages, and we are right here. So I'm making progress in it, and this is, I just put the date and then what I'm thinking about, if I'm watching something, any type of notes that I kind of want. And then I will scratch it off for when it is completed or I have took the information and done something with it, right? This is my capture tool. Then, right, from your capture tool, it goes into your inbox to be processed. So by putting a cross through it, that is that it has been processed. So different things like this. This is a recipe here. Got planners, right? Trying to figure that out. I'm working on my notebook and task manager, trying to figure out how this was from a video, and I really like it, right? Your pocket is your ideation, your digital is your development, planners for planning, weekly plan, tasks, digital is execution. So all this stuff, I'm trying to figure out my workflow. I did a lot of brainstorming and I think I'm getting it. And then I was like, I could do it this way. And these are almost a 3x5. It's like 3.5 by 5.5. They're the size of a note card. Hence, instead of having a bunch of note cards for, right, my planning is, here's a size comparison, is I could just write the scene in here and take it with me. So it's good if I'm writing on the go. And so some more information, right? I'm just like doing all this brainstorming, and this is to help not be on my phone. And I think it's helping, and it's really fun just to write a bunch of random stuff down, get it all out of my head. And so that is my focus capture notebook. So that is, it kind of fits in this a little bit. It's slightly bulky, but you can still take it with you, throw it in your bag. Strategy, goal setting, setting up the systems. Then we have our execution, the daily tasks, how I'm going to achieve my goals. And this is a free-for-all. Anything that comes to my mind is to write it down. So there we have it. Those are the planners and notebooks I'll be using for the month of September. And let me know what is in your planning stack for the month. And be prepared. I am thinking through what I want to do for 2026. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe as new videos will be coming up regarding that. And until next time, bye guys.